Hi, my name is Stacy McCaskill, and this is a brief introduction to your course Business 170 Section IO 10 Introduction to Organizational Behavior for Spring 2016. A couple of things before we get into this little tour of the Eagle course. If you want to learn a little bit more about me and my background, you can go to my LinkedIn profile, and I'm listed there as Stacy DeVold McCaskill. It has information about who I am, my background, some of the things I worked on, what I'm doing right now, where I'm working, all that kind of thing is all in here. I am a full-time faculty at tenured faculty at Rock Valley College, but I'm also a web tech entrepreneur, and I'm running a web tech company called Fish with Me, and that's the landing page of Fish with Me. And it's a website that helps you find fishing buddies, and you can share in the cost of fishing together. It's basically like a Uber of fishing kind of website, so you can go check that out. But my LinkedIn profile is here. You can also learn, or it might be nice to, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter, and I do try to tweet stuff out regularly. And follow me at Prof Stacy is my handle, and that's at PROFSTACY. And I tend to use my Twitter account specifically to tweet about entrepreneurship, web tech startup, org development, international business, anything related to my teaching at Rock Valley College, or some of the personal stuff that I do, and even the Fish with Me stuff. I don't really tweet a lot about that under my personal account, under the Prof Stacy account. It's more about information about learning about businesses and startups and web tech and all of those kinds of things. So if you want to learn more about those topic areas, feel free to follow me on Twitter as well. All right, so getting back to our Eagle course management system, of course I have all my contact information here. I will say that I am on campus only on Tuesdays this semester, so if you want to meet with me face to face, I'm in my office from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in WTC 258 every Tuesday. And I'm also available at my office phone during those hours. But if you're trying to reach me outside of those limited hours, please text me or send me an email. You can tweet me, you can add me to your GroupMe. There's lots of ways to contact me, but I think one of the best and fastest forms of connection with me is just to go ahead and add me to your smartphone and give me a text anytime at 630-301-2010. I tend to be very responsive to your requests there, and if you post any kind of request within Eagle, whether it's you have a question or you want feedback, or you've sent me an email, whatever it is, if I haven't responded to you within 24 hours, then I would suggest that you send me a quick text message and tell me what the issue is, and then I'll go read that email and go take a look at anything that you might have posted in Eagle, and I'll do my best to give you that feedback as soon as possible. All right. A couple of things here just to get started. There is a textbook for this course, and I've provided some links here. This where it says paid version include options. If you click on this link, that will take you to a page. Let me just click on it and show you. That will take you to a page where you can purchase the textbook for this class. I get my textbook from Flat World, which I think is a really great resource that provides a very economical version of our textbook. You don't need the black and white. You don't need a physical top copy of the textbook or even the digital all access pass. If you have a good and consistent internet connection, just click on Study Pass, and it's only $24. All you need is a internet connection, and you can access the textbook at any time. If you pay $49, you get the digital all access pass, which basically allows you to gives you an EPUB file, which is a file that you can upload into any kind of e-reader that you might have. So if you have a smartphone or a tablet and you want to be able to read the textbook offline without an internet connection, that's a really nice version to have. So I recommend that you just go buy the textbook here, and so that you have that. And the reason is because here's what the book looks like when you log in and you go and buy that textbook. The reason I think this is so nice is because on the left hand side you'll see here there's a table of contents, so you can click around, you can look for specific chapters. One of the first discussions that you have to do is about diversity, so you can see chapter 2 here is about cultural diversity, so you can click on that. And maybe if you want to look at maybe you want to look at the role of ethics and national culture in order to prepare for an assignment that you have, you can go and click on that and it'll bring you right to that page. So I like this table of contents as a navigation tool. I think it's super helpful. The other thing when you're reading this textbook, just as a tour, on the right hand side you can just scroll up and down, page up and down. There's a scroll bar on the side, or you can use a scroll bar on your mouse. And once you get down to the end of the page, you just click next, and then it takes you into the next section. So you can see what is stress. That's the section we're on right here. Go down to the bottom, finish reading that, and then once you end up at the bottom of the page, you just click next. And then you can see that took me down into section 7.2, and that's basically how you navigate this online textbook. The other thing that's cool about it is if you click on resources up here, there are study aid quizzes, there are flashcards, there's downloads, there's different things. There's like PowerPoint downloads PowerPoints you can download and stuff. So there's a lot of different resources that you can get access to on this page, and so that just, I think it makes it super nice. So if you have the money, it'd be nice to go ahead and go and buy this version. Now if you're super tight and you don't feel that you can afford either of those very economical prices, you can always download this. You can click on this link right here, and if you click on this, it will download for you a PDF file. And this is basically what that PDF file looks like, and it's the same textbook in PDF form, but there's no navigation table for you. So it's basically just 697 pages, and you would just have to scroll through and read the textbook in this way, by either printing this out at home or scrolling through it and reading through it online. I think it's a little bit difficult because it's not so easy to navigate to the different chapters and the different sections and stuff. But it is here, and there are ways, once you download this and open it up within the PDF viewer, there are different ways to navigate, but I prefer the online version, and I think it's well worth the money that you're going to pay for it. So those things are there. I also did provide for you, because this had such bad navigation, this free version, I did go into each of the chapters, and I created a document, and if you click on it right here, it'll open up a Word doc. I created a document that has each chapter and the learning objectives for each chapter listed. This is a really nice document to kind of pull out and use as a guide, so that you can see what you're doing as you're moving through the course. So this has chapters, each chapter and the learning objectives listed under each chapter, and you can see there are 15 chapters. And again, we're covering diversity, individual differences in perception, attitudes and behaviors, theories of motivation, designing a motivating work environment, managing stress and emotions, communication, managing groups and teams, conflict and negotiation, making decisions, leading, power and politics, org structure and change, organizational, and then another chapter closing with organizational change. And so this covers all the topics that we'll be doing in this course that's in the textbook. All right, the next thing is, so you need to go get your textbook, however you're going to do that. The next thing is you should open up this project description and instructions document, because a major portion of this course is working in a team project, and I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. But that's basically the final document that you could open up and save and put into a notebook if you want to. All right. The rest of this is basically all of the same introduction, just talking about the course and how it's going to work and all of that. These aren't additional documents listed here. These are all the same documents that are referenced above, but they're just referenced within context of an introduction to you. Okay, so finally, the way that I would suggest, I am in student view on Eagle right now, so this should be exactly what you see when you log on. And let me just point out a couple of things. One thing is, to the right here, there will always be a little to-do list, and it'll list whatever assignments or things that are due from you will be listed over here. Whatever is coming up will be listed in order over here, so that's a nice little thing to kind of follow along. And then due dates are always highlighted on the calendar, so that's nice too. If you want to see how the assignments are weighted, there's a little weighting thing, weighted, how assignments are weighted, listed here. The team project is going to be 50% of your grade, discussions are 30% of your grade, exams are 20%. There is a pretest that you need to take. There's no grade for that, but you will be dropped from the course if you don't take this pretest. And please take it. I can tell whether you've actually worked through it and considered each question and have taken it. If you don't approach this seriously and take this pretest and do it to the best of your ability, you will be dropped from the class. So it's really critical that you get this pretest done by the 16th. There's no grade, so it's not important that you get a high grade on it. In fact, it's a pre-post test mechanism, so it's supposed to demonstrate how much you've improved throughout the course. So I do expect you to fail that pretest, but I just need you to still try and not just click through the pretest, so we can get a good measure of the actual learning that you achieved during the semester. All right. The next thing that I would do in the way that I would navigate this course is, this is the home page. The next page is an announcements page. I would pay a lot of attention to this announcements page. It's going to be the main page of the main way that I'm going to communicate with you. And I'm going to do several videos like this throughout the semester so that we can have more of an personal interaction, me to you, online. And you can see I've scheduled some orientation sessions. I'm talking about the textbook here. So, and obviously I haven't done it yet because I'm recording it right now, but this is also where I will put the video introduction. I'll dump it in here. And then as a first time courtesy, I will also email, I will send an email to you guys and let you know that video introduction is in the course. But by way of practice, I tend not to send a lot of emails. I tend to send do all of our communication within this course conference because I think it's easier to manage in that way. Okay, finally, the next tab that I would be very interested in following is this assignments tab. And there's two ways that you can order the assignments on this page. You can either order it by date, and if you do it by date, it just lists everything, every assignment, its due date, and it just lists it's in order, and you just need to work your way through these assignments. The other way it is listed is by type. And so if I click on type over here, you can see that there are basically 4 categories by type. There's the project, there's discussions, there's exams, and then there's that pretest. So you should be able to bang the pretest and get that out of the way. There is only 2 exams throughout the semester worth 20% of the total. The first exam is chapters 1 through 8, and the second exam is chapters 9 through 15. So this final exam is not comprehensive. I basically just split the book in half, and there are randomly selected questions from a test bank that you'll be taking to pass these. You will have 2 attempts for each of these exams that you take. All right. The major portion of this course really is the project, and you can see it's weighted as half of your grade in this class is based on the project, and half of what you do to demonstrate that you've achieved the learning outcomes, of course, is through your work on this project. And then another big component is discussions. And I only have a couple listed here right now, but I will be adding to those as we go through the semester, and there should be at least 15 or 16 of those throughout the semester. We should have one basically every week. There should be a discussion posted, and that's how you will engage in the course during the week, is by doing that discussion, engaging in that discussion. The first discussion that's due January 23rd is just an introduction. But I want to click onto this diversity one because this is the first one that really kind of gives you a feel for how these discussions are going to happen throughout the semester. So it will tell you how many points. It's 25 points for this particular discussion. The topic is diversity. I will always list what chapters you need to read before you attempt this assignment. So for this particular assignment, you need to read chapters 1 and 2 in your text before attempting this assignment. You'll see the due date. It's not until January 30th, so you have plenty of time to get these chapters read. And sometimes I'll list what the learning outcome or the goal of this particular assignment is. Then I have the assignment listed there, and then you'll see the discussion instructions. So it says discuss attitudes towards shaved heads versus balding, which is what all this stuff was talking about. And then I asked some 4 specific questions which I expect for you to answer in your post. And this is a threaded discussion. So basically how this works is you will not be able to see anybody else's post until you post your discussion first. So you have to post your initial thoughts first. Once your thoughts are posted, then you'll be able to see everybody else's, and then you can start engaging and interacting with your fellow students by reading their comments and then engaging with them. And this, you should be familiar with how Eagle works. So basically you just click on reply, it opens a dialog box, and you can type directly into this box. However, I suggest that you open a Word doc or a Google doc and draft your doc first. And the reason for that is that if you do that, that will save your document. You can also run a word count because there's a word count requirement for each of your postings. And it lets you run a word count, it lets you run a spell check, a grammar check, and just all of those things are nice to do. Secondly, I've had people draft their responses in here, and then they get all this stuff drafted, and then all of a sudden something happens. They bump something on their keyboard, or their the electricity goes out, or something happens, and if Eagle crashes or you lose the connection, you will lose everything that you've typed into this box. So there's no auto save function within Eagle. So I highly recommend you draft your document in a Word doc before you and then just copy paste it into here. And it's very simple. You just grab wherever your Word doc is that you have open somewhere. Let's say I have this Word document open here. All I got to do is highlight the area, either right click or Control V to copy, and then reduce that document, go back into here, and either right click paste or Control and Control P to or not Control P, what am I talking about? Control V. It's Control C to copy and Control P to paste, and I just accidentally closed my Eagle document. So let me go back there. Let me get back to Eagle. Get back to where I was. Go back to the student view that I was on. Sorry about this little delay, but it does show you that these kinds of accidents can happen. Alright, so if I click on type, this again just shows you how easy this is to navigate. If I click on type, I can see discussions, and I was looking at this diversity discussion. So again, I was talking about how you can do Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste, and then you can see how when I did that, that copy-pasted that piece of data that I had grabbed there. I just grabbed it and then copied it in there. The other thing I wanted to tell you about this is the general discussion board requirements and grading criteria. This thing you will see repeated every time on this discussion posting, just talking to you about how long the post should be. And generally what I do is the points possible, 25 points, will be matched to the length required of the discussion. So your post should be at least 250 words in length for this particular post. Other posts I might, they may be shorter, they may be longer, but that length requirement is very important. It's an important guideline. You should also explicitly explain how the concepts that you're talking about, how it's, you should relate it to the textbook or to any video or any other information that I give you. So if I give you a link to read an article, or I give you a link to watch a video, and I tell you what chapters it's related to, all of those things become source documents or source artifacts that you should reference in your answer. So I don't want you just coming in here willy-nilly and just kind of like, sounding off, this is what I think about this topic, blah, blah, blah. I'm very interested in your opinion. However, I'm interested in your opinion that is informed and that's based in the things that you're learning. So you need to make sure, if you want to earn full credit and demonstrate your competency in this particular learning objective, you really need to reference key concepts in the artifacts that I provide for you. All right. As part of that, and just as part of your overall learning development, you should learn how to cite things and how to cite sources. So as you're drafting this document, be sure that you're citing sources. Be sure to cite the textbook or the video link or whatever. And you can use either MLA or APA, whatever citation style you're familiar with or you feel comfortable with. Either one will be accepted. And then finally, although I'm not requiring you to respond an X amount of times to your fellow classmates, it does, responding and engaging with your classmates does influence the depth and quality of your knowledge that you're demonstrating in these discussion forums. So in a way, when I see that you are interacting with your classmates, that does impact your overall assessed grade over time. So if I see that you're going through the course and you're just kind of banging through it and all you're doing is creating that original first post, you may get good grades for the first couple of posts, but if I see that you are not consistently engaging and interacting with your classmates on the forums, those grades are going to start dropping dramatically. So when you do your initial post, I will be able to give you a grade straight away. But again, as we move throughout the course and I see, if I see that you are not interacting with your classmates, I will begin reducing your score on these within this discussion forum. And this is 30% of your grade, so it's a really critical component. And come up with your own strategy for who you want to engage with and how you want to engage. I've had teams in the past where they've decided that they're only going to read the posts from their individual teammates and engage with their team, and then that actually helps you to build more collaborative nature and to develop more of a relationship with your teammates. So if you want to do that, that's fine. If you just want to read whoever's, when you go in to do it, just read whoever's posted in there. If you want to do that, that's fine, and respond to their postings. Utilize whatever method that you want to, but I do expect you to be interacting with your classmates, because I know for a fact that that enhances your learning, and it makes it a much more rich and diverse learning environment by engaging with your classmates. Basically responding to their posts and commenting on their posts. All right, so that's the discussions that you will see listed throughout the course will be in there. And like I said, if we go back here to assignments, and you can see the project is a big thing, and the discussions, I've only a couple listed here. If I leave student view and kind of show you my view of this, you can see I have a lot more discussions listed here. I just haven't published them yet. So I will slowly release these as we go throughout the semester. But each discussion will have, as it is in this diversity thing, it's very detailed in what you need to do in that discussion. So if you ever have any questions, or you feel that the instructions are ambiguous in some way, please contact me, and I will make sure that that is corrected and that you know exactly what you need to do. All right, the next thing I think that you should click on to and take a look at is the people link. And on this people link, let me go back to the student view again. So this looks exactly like it looks when you're looking at it. When you click on people, you'll see everybody that's listed in this course. So you'll see all the people that are listed here. You can click on any one of these names, and it'll open up a dialog box to show you about that person. And then you can click on send a message, and in student view, I think you should be able, this in student view, that's not pulling up a dialog box for me, but I think when you click on it, it should pull up a dialog box that will allow you to send a message to that individual user. The other thing I think is important when you're clicking in people here is to click on groups. And in the groups, and I think this group should show automatically when you log in what group you're in. But you can see that the groups are pre-assigned, so there's no team selection here. You just need to get to know your particular team. And there are 4 to 5 students in each team. And there is an assignment right away, you'll see, where you need to introduce yourself not only to the whole class, but you also need to do a separate introduction to get to know your individual teammates. And then what I'll say about this is, one thing, these names are just generic. As soon as you guys pick what your project's going to be, I'll replace that with the company name that you're going to be researching. But one of the things I want to say is that there's been a lot of research done about working in teams virtually, and that's the only requirement here, is that you're to work virtually in this team. But let me give you some tips straight away on how to make this more successful. One of the things that you should do for sure is pick out the different collaborative tools that you want to do, so that you can make your online work easier, more productive, and have better trust building through those tools. So the first tool I think is super important is to do some kind of, to do it like a Google Plus Hangout. I don't know if you have, everybody has a Google account, but if you want to do Google Plus Hangouts, if you create a Google account and you do Google Hangouts, what's really cool about Google Hangouts, it's basically a video call, and it allows you to do a video call where multiple people are logged into the video call at the same time. And this is totally free, and you can see, like in this video call, you can see the different people's pictures, whoever logs in. And I think that's so important, because it turns that video call into a group conversation where you can actually see each other. And I think that makes just getting to know each other a lot better. So I think you should use something like Google Hangouts. It's free. Everybody has a Google account. If you have your student email address is a Gmail. So with that Gmail, you should be able to create a Google Plus account and then sign into this Google. When you sign into this Google Hangouts, just sign in with your student email, and you should be able to go in and create an account and do this. So I highly recommend that you do it. The other thing that you can do on this Google Hangouts is you can actually videotape your video call or your hangout with each other via video. And you can make that available to any teammates that may have missed your hangout together. And when I say schedule meetings with when you open that document that talks about your project, I say that you should set up a schedule time to meet with your team every week. When I say meet with your team, I mean meet with them virtually in some way. And Google Hangouts is a great way to do that. Another tool that I highly recommend is called BaseCamp. And BaseCamp it's a project management tool. And so you can go look at this. It's basecamp.com. Go take a look at it. See if you're interested in utilizing this. I use this in all of my classes. If you want me to set up your team in a BaseCamp account, I can do that for you, and it'll be free to you because I have an account that has unlimited projects within it. So I will be glad to set up a BaseCamp for you. If you guys do it on your own, there's a pricing model and it costs money. It does say maybe there's a free version, but I think it's basically like $30 a month. This $21 a month for BaseCamp, but I think it's free just to get into BaseCamp, but to actually manage a project, it's $29 a month. I have the unlimited version of it, so I can create for you a project in BaseCamp if you want that. The final tool that I would recommend is called GroupMe. And both BaseCamp, GroupMe, and Canvas or Eagle, they all have apps, so you can download apps for all of these things. But what GroupMe is it's a group messaging tool, and so and you can do it online or you can do it via the app on your smartphone or on a tablet or something. It's super nice because you can set up your group in here. You can add everybody's cell phone number in here, and it's just a really great way to stay in constant contact with each other. It's an awesome communication tool. Now, I wouldn't do all of your work within GroupMe. I think what GroupMe is kind of like part for team building and part for just logistics communication. So, for example, on GroupMe, you may send a message to each other saying, hey, don't forget we have a Google Hangout this Friday at 3 o'clock. Make sure you do your part of the project and you come prepared to that meeting, blah, 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 something like that. Or, hey, everybody, I just uploaded some additional documents into our BaseCamp account. Make sure you log online and check that out. Or, did you do the exam? I had some questions about whatever. Or did you see the discussion for this week? When are you guys going to post your discussion so that I can respond to it? It's just those kinds of short little communication things. I think it's really nice to have GroupMe to do that communication. So I know this feels like a lot of tools, but it's really critical when you're working virtually as a team that you use multiple tools and they each have their functionality. So this is the lineup I would suggest. You want to use your group within Eagle. You definitely want to use Eagle, right? I would encourage doing Google Hangouts on a regular basis. I would encourage you setting up a BaseCamp account, your project within BaseCamp. And then I would encourage you to do GroupMe, setting up a GroupMe with all of your team members' cell phones into GroupMe. If you do that, if you do those 4 tools, I think you'll be super successful. And then there's one more thing that I would recommend that you add on to that. There has been an intense amount of research done about the productivity of virtual teams. And one thing that they found is super critical is that those teams actually meet face to face in real time together for at least a couple of times every quarter. So what I would recommend for you guys, since this is a semester long course, is those of you that are able, and I know some are taking this course that are out of town and they're not able to meet with their team face to face. But if you are able, I would suggest that you organize a meeting straight away as soon as possible, just to get together for coffee or to have dinner together or to go out and have drinks together. It doesn't even need to be project based, the time that you spend together. What it needs to be is just so that you meet each other, that you see each other face to face, that you're in each other's presence. And by being together like that, you develop an affinity for one another, you develop trust, there's more empathy that's developed, and then what happens is all of those things turn into a team that works harder, is more committed to team-based outcomes, you're willing to sacrifice for each other. You just care a lot more about each other, and you care more about the project that you're working on, and that will all result in better outcomes from this course. So I really encourage you to have, I would say, at least 2 to 3, maybe 4 face-to-face meetings during the semester. It would be awesome. And I would love to come to any of those meetings. If you guys schedule some team meetings and you want to get together, send me a text or add me to your GroupMe and let me know that you guys are getting together. And if I'm available, I will definitely swing by and join you for drinks or coffee or whatever. I think that's just a really cool way to build a collaborative and highly functioning team. And by me joining you for one or more of your meetings, it'll help me to do a better job of consulting and counseling you and helping you as you work to achieve your learning objectives in this course. I will record at another time details and suggestions about the BUS170, the org project, the project that you're going to be working through. Again, if you click over here on assignments and you see all the things that are required under the project, you can begin clicking through those and working on those. You can see the first thing that's due is this pre-course reflection. By the 23rd, you actually you need to get all of your introductions done with your teammates, and then by February 6th, you should have a summary already drawn up of what your project's going to be. So I'll record another video to talk about the project in a little bit more detail, and it might clarify some questions that you have around that project. But for now, get your pre-course reflection done, start introducing yourselves to your teammates. I highly recommend that you get these 4 tools, or these additional 3 tools to help supplement your work in Eagle, and try to schedule a face-to-face meeting with your teammates if possible. And again, it's absolutely not required, but it sure will increase your productivity and I'm sure the quality of the project that you end up producing this semester. So thank you very much, and I hope you have fun in this class. I think they're really cool topics. Org behavior is one of my favorite things. I do have a second master's that I got was in organizational behavior, focusing on diversity, and I did a lot of consulting in that area. So I really love this topic, and I think it's a lot of fun, and I hope that you have a really great time working on your team this semester. Thank you.